welcome back to the Stache Club Wrestling Podcast. Happy Thursday, everyone out there. Welcome to episode 37. They didn't think to make it this far. 1, 2, 3, is this on? All the catchphrases, how are we? Big day. Again, off the top, we were recording this on Wednesday.
Yep.
Because I have jury duty tomorrow morning.
Woo!
So,
lit.
no dynamite in this, but we will be here to talk about Raw, SmackDown, and other stuff that happened in between. Whew. Busy week.
Busy
What's
week.
going on?
We got
How
a lot
are
going
we?
on.
What did you do this weekend? What did you see? Did you do anything crazy? Did you see anyone in concert? Did you?
Played some video games.
Yeah.
sat in bed, played some Fortnite. No, honestly, I had a fucking busy week. We had a lot going on. Even ever since Blood and Guts, like I've had something going on every night. Me and my girlfriend went to this like boardwalk fair type of thing on Thursday night around us. It's like there's like an arcade, there's like a bunch of food places, there's like a beach you can walk around. And
you don't have to say.
I'm not gonna say. I'll tell you after. It's not too far from it. It definitely took a little bit, but it wasn't too far. But that was fun. Friday, doubleheader. Barbie Oppenheimer.
Jeez.
Barbenheimer. With me and my girlfriend went. We were at the movie theaters.
I don't know how people. I know a couple people that did the double feature.
I can't believe we did it. We got.
It doesn't sound like a good idea.
We got the theaters at 4:30. We left at, I want to say 11:20 was when we walked out, and we sat through an entire like rainstorm, lightning storm. It was crazy. I remember during Barbie, I could hear like the rain just pouring out. I was like,
I kind of like that. I kind of like that.
Yeah. She was like, was it raining? I was like, did you not hear it during the movie? Like that's all I could hear. Two great movies. Oh my god! I mean, they're getting they're getting a lot of love and they deserve it. Mm-hmm. Barbie was great, super fun. I'm obviously not going to get into it too much. You can check out my rating for it on Letterboxd and Toro. And then Oppenheimer. I mean, it's a 3-hour movie, so it's a kind of a turn off in some ways for some people.
See it. It's next on my list.
But let me tell you, like if you are you're interested in history in any way or have any understanding of the atomic bomb, World War II, all that stuff, like it is.
Even if you don't, I don't have a whole lot of understanding.
Even if you want to learn about it, just like it's so informative, and I do think it's like a modern day class. Like I don't know, me and my friend were talking about this yesterday. I'm trying to think of the last movie that came out that was like considered like a classic like this one is. Like I think this movie's
sure there is.
Maybe a few one here and there might a few have been thrown out, but like this was like one of those movies that you're gonna remember for a very long time. I think at least. So both of them were very good, but I was in the movie theaters for 6-7 hours. God bless my girlfriend. I can't believe she stayed awake during Oppenheimer. She was like, I'm gonna fall asleep. I'm like, I wouldn't blame you. Both great movies. And then Saturday, I saw Post Malone.
Oh, did you?
I saw Post Malone.
Did you?
You want to hear? So I got something to tell you. So I went to Post Malone. The opening came on at 8. Right. So this was in.
Who was the opener? Oh, come on.
Their logo was a bunny. It was like something animals. It was some like indie, like they were like an indie band type of thing. They were
Damn,
bad.
he's fully transitioning just like indie rock.
Yeah, I mean, so it was someone low key. So my buddy Peter was there too, so we met up with them and we were there. So we got there at 6. Show started at 8. Right. This was in Mansfield. I don't know if you've been to Xfinity Center before.
That's the spot.
So we were on the lawn and everything.
Beach
fossils, yeah, not animals, but indie rock, yeah. Post Malone was performing. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Noah Khan before? He put out a song with Post Malone, Dial Drunk, like a week ago.
I'm not a big these days Post Malone guy. I don't really know.
What do you mean these days?
Like I don't like his music now. Like I like his old stuff.
No. So Noah Khan's like a folk music type of guy. He's like a very big songwriter. He has an album called Stick Season. One of the songs was like a big TikTok. Maybe I don't know. But anyways, he put out a song recently, and
Noah Khan. Only Khan I know is Nick and Tony or whatever.
So that's pronounced Khan. I'm like, why is it not spelled like Tony or something? Like I always say Noah Khan, and she's like, it's Khan. I'm like, I spelled like that. He came out. He's from Vermont, so he's from the area.
Okay.
They put out the song last week. Like not a remix, but Post Malone basically jumped on and put in his own verse. And it was the first time performing it live, and that's my girlfriend's favorite artist ever, like right
Noah
now.
Khan?
So she was going crazy. So besides the point,
awfully white.
Hey, he makes good music. So we got there like kind of early, but there were a lot of people there ahead of us. We parked in general parking. So
Okay.
when we got off the highway, they had everything set up to a T. They had the cones, people directing you where to go,
Big
whatever.
ass
Like
parking
very
lot there.
organized. Usually I like parking in lots that you have to pay for because it's separate. You can get out quicker, whatever. I'm like, I'll cough up the $40-$50, whatever. I had no control over where I was going. So they led me right into general admission parking. So it was free, whatever. The concert ended a little after 11. We got to our car. I'd want to say 11:15. We didn't exit Xfinity. Like, I mean, get onto the main road until 1:05. I didn't back out of my spot until 12:30. So I was like, I didn't even get to leave my spot for an hour, 15 minutes. We didn't get home till after 2.
I like for those listening, Xfinity Center is like it's like an outdoor. It's like
Outdoor venue.
you know that really famous. I think it's in like Colorado. That really
Rocks,
famous one. Whatever.
I feel like I know.
It's like it's like a mini version of that.
Yes, I know what
where
you're
it's like
talking
the
about.
stage is down, the shit goes like up, and it's outside. Rolling Rock.
Rolling.
Like
It's something rock. Yeah, I forget what it's called.
But yeah, and also it's in a very very small town. It's not like a city or whatever.
That's
so
all.
It's like
That's
the
all they have
only
there.
thing
The
that's
only
there.
thing they have there.
And they do not have the exit strategy figured out at all.
They got the
way in,
they
one
got
way
the
out.
enter strategy. They don't got the exit
yeah.
one figured out. So that was tough. That I was very tired the next day.
Then you gotta drive
even
back.
on Monday.
Tough.
Yeah, I like obviously I only had like 1 or 2 beers throughout the whole night.
Yeah.
So like I'm driving, whatever. So it was a tough night. It was a tough to get out of there, but it was a good show. I like the show.
You know who I saw there? I saw Lil Wayne and Blink-182.
Damn,
their joint concert.
That's sick. That's fucking sick, dude. I wish I went to that
sick.
tour. Yeah, I've been to Mansfield. I've been to that and then there's one in Connecticut, which is like the same.
Yeah. Did he
setup.
do? Did he do I Fall Apart?
Yes, he performed all the. So one of my favorite songs, "Feeling Whitney." Like that's like I love that song.
Is it off Stone?
Stony. It's off Stony. That was like the one song where I was like, I only care if he performs this, whatever.
What
like,
do? Candy paint with the white
dude,
on top.
dude,
I fuck with
I'll
Candy
tell you
Paint.
something.
His old stuff I
Let
like.
me tell you
I'm just
something,
not a big
dude.
fan of his
From
new stuff.
like his entire set are like just like a greatest hits
Yeah.
thing. Like it's not
Did
like
he do White Iverson?
did he do I?
I'm just I didn't know. I feel like he might drop it at this point.
I think. I honestly like. So he performed his last song, then he came out for like an encore, and I'm thinking, I was like, what other song? I literally, I was like, what song had it was Sunflower. That was the one song he hadn't performed
that makes
at that
sense.
point.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I was like, he performed every like good song that he has, whatever. But he's
Damn, he only performed 3 songs. Zing! I'm just kidding.
No, he performed at least 4. I know. He was actually very good. I've heard like very good things about like him as a live performer and stuff. But he actually he was pretty like he has that like when he did like Rockstar, for example, he gets like deep in his voice. He does like that, not like a screamo thing, but like really like into it, which it was pretty sick. But it was a good show. Then I slept.
Caught some merch.
I did. Yeah, I got a little bit of merch. I like this like cream
cool
color shirt, and like the hat goes with it. So yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there we go.
Huge.
And that was my
weekend.
Yeah, that was my weekend. I'm going to Dave and Buster's tonight. So that cherry on top of the Sunday right there.
Why?
It's half off Wednesdays, dude. Games are half off.
Is food half
No.
off? So it's just games that are half off.
What do you think we're going there for? They're chicken tenders. We're going there to win. We're going there.
Sometimes
to win
they show like wrestling events. Dave and Buster's.
We went
like
there.
pay-per-views
So me and my girlfriend. This is gonna be we've gone to Dave and Buster's a few times. It was like our 4th date together. And
4th date in Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, it was lit. Right. That's bold, but it was a good call. And then we went there a second time with like Kevin, Sophia, a few of my other friends. And we did get food there before and get a drink, and they had SmackDown on the TV and stuff,
nice.
so it was pretty lit. But yeah, I expect to win a lot of tickets tonight.
So is it a date night? What's the word on? Or is you going with friends?
Oh no, it's me and her going. Kevin and Sophie might come too,
Gotcha,
I think we're gonna go whenever she gets out of work. I don't know when Kevin and Sophie are gonna eat by themselves.
Meet us at D&B's.
Meet us by the coin machine. You'll know where to find it. You know the machine where you put the coin in, it shoots it and like pushes it kind of back and forth.
Oh, I like that. I like that game.
That's what we go for,
I like
bro.
that
We go
game.
for the big bucks. But yeah, that should be fun.
Wow.
How about you?
Sounds
How was your weekend?
I'm coming up, which I barely have an outline written for this pod, if you couldn't tell. Because I saw Barbie at 9:30 last night.
Hell yeah.
Solo Dolo.
Hell yeah.
Nice
How many people were in pink?
A lot.
Dude, when we went, 85% of the
and it was
theaters
like
were in pink.
And so what? Opening was this past Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, it's still fresh, but I saw it on a Tuesday night, so it wasn't like opening weekend. Still a lot of people in pink doing the thing.
They're gonna. I mean, both movies are incredible at the box office. Yeah.
It was good. I mean, again, it's new. I don't want to talk too much about it. One, for spoilers, and one, it's like a muddy water thing with like the strike and all that stuff. I'm not really sure. Whatever. But yeah, I mean, fucking banger.
Really good.
Oppenheimer's next for me. And then, which I'm trying to see that 70 millimeter.
Yeah. Yeah.
But huge news. Everyone get ready for this. Boom. We're fucking back.
We're so
Got
back.
my ear pierced.
Hell yeah. Summer season is in full swing now.
Go.
Hell yeah.
It only hurt kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Actually, it wasn't bad. You ever have your? You don't have your?
No, I've never.
You look great.
I don't. Yeah,
You shouldn't, because you already have the tattoos.
Yeah,
So
I don't think I
I'll
need
do the
to get my
earring.
ears pierced, but I've.
Because if you got your ear pierced, then what do I have? That's the thing. You know what I mean?
Get
Like, that's what I'm
tattoos now.
saying. I want to get a tattoo. I was like looking in the shop, but anyway, what was funny is I got it pierced once before last year. You already know the story, but I got pierced once before last year. Got infected, and the shit. I don't want. It's like it was just a painful thing of it went in, and it was just a whole fucking thing. So anyway, I waited like a year to get it again. Cause I just like, whatever. And then I'm talking to the lady, because I'm, even though it's just a little earlobe piercing, no matter what, you're a little nervous or whatever. Yeah. So I go in, I'm talking to the girl. She's really nice. But I'm telling her, like, I'm trying to give her my sob story for whatever reason. I'm trying to just get sympathy. I'm like, oh yeah, like, I got infected and it like hurt and had to go to the doctors and this, that, and the other thing. I'm kind of like telling her about like, oh, it hurt and it sucked or whatever. And as I'm telling her this, I'm like looking at her and I'm realizing like what I'm doing. And I'm realizing like I'm telling this girl like, yeah, and then it got infected and it hurt a little bit. And I'm looking at her and I'm telling this to the girl that has like a big piece of metal shoved through the arch of her nose. And she didn't give a shit.
She didn't give a fuck. She didn't listen to a word you were saying.
I was like, owie, it hurt. And she's has like so much metal
my
in her
earlobe.
face. Yeah. And she's like, it happens, man. I don't know what to tell you. She was not gentle.
I'd be more afraid of getting it infected than the initial like putting it in, to be completely honest with you. That would be my biggest fear.
I mean, because it got infected initially like 3 months after I got it pierced.
Yeah,
so it's a lot.
That takes a while for it to fully heal. Yeah, that would be my biggest.
But it looks too fucking
great. No,
cool.
it does look great.
I know. I'm excited for I have the headphones on.
The reason why I wouldn't be afraid of the initial pain too is because of my tattoos.
Well, yeah,
since I know that, so I know what that feels like.
It's probably not as bad. It's like one like quick pinch.
Exactly. So that's why I wouldn't worry too much.
She was not gentle though. No. She was twisting on because I think she heard that I had it done once.
So
before,
she made sure to be a little more aggressive this time. She slapped you around a little bit.
It was like, ow.
It makes you flinch.
It was funny. So I was like, she's like, all right, lay down. She didn't give me a whole lot of direction.
Sure.
She thought I've only got my ear pierced once.
She thought you knew the ropes.
She thought I'd been there before, and I was like, she's like, lay down. And I'm like,
and do what?
I said, where am I going? I laid down. I laid down on my side.
Stomach or back?
I laid down on my side, kind of like with my. And she's
posing.
She's like, no, you can lay down on your back. I'm like, oh, wait, yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, I knew that. Yeah, that was just testing.
Yeah. I'm just making sure you.
Oh, that's funny. She wasn't having none of it.
No, she was really nice though. I follow her on Twitter and her Instagram.
Oh no, I know her personally.
Yeah, she's the homie now. But anyway,
she's my good friend.
But that's that. Like I said, now I'm in the mood for a tattoo. I want to get a tattoo.
Dude, you've been talking about
I know.
You've been saying you want a Rey Mysterio.
Well, that's what I do. I talk about things that I like.
You just got to do. I'm telling. Once you get your first tattoo, unless you really hate the pain of it, you're gonna.
All I want is a couple like patchwork things. Like
that's why.
You know what I mean?
Once I'm gonna get this done eventually soon. I think I'm just gonna do like a few like. It's not gonna be like a sleeve type of thing. It's just gonna be a little like. Few different things all around, but once you do it, bro,
I'm starting on thigh. I'm gonna go thigh first and kind of work my way up on a couple.
That makes sense. Put it in places where no one sees it at first. See if you like it, the feeling, whatever, and then go from there. It's like good strategy. Like start with your neck. Start with your neck and go down.
Well, you know what we're gonna start with today? We're gonna start with WWE SmackDown. If you want to get into some wrestling,
let's do it.
Big week, but also not that big of a week. It was pretty standard, but it was good.
SmackDown. SummerSlam's getting closer.
SummerSlam is getting closer.
Well, a week away from Saturday.
Yeah. We can maybe before we get into Raw after SmackDown, we kind of look at the landscape of where we're at.
A lot of the matches were announced.
A lot of either got announced or it's gonna get announced next week. But like the card is shaping up. But what do you say we start at the top? Well, not at the top, but at the end of SmackDown with the rules of engagement, the contract signing between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso for their match at SummerSlam. Solid segment. I wouldn't say it's the strongest Bloodline segment, but it
got the job done. Yep.
Roman the whole time, which I thought this was a nice little detail. Roman the whole time is referring to Jey as Little Jey.
Yeah, I like
Little
that.
Jey.
I like that.
Little.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't been doing that. Like it's like, you know, it's just a nice little like condescending, like you're the younger cousin.
You're the little cousin, yeah.
Jey looks distraught still. He has a tummy ache, clearly. Ultimately, he sticks to
Jimmy's
his guns.
in the hospital.
But it's always, whenever he's stressed, he's just like...
He's so... I don't know what to do.
Jey rips up the contract and said they don't need it because it's about blood. They go back and forth a little bit. Roman says, do the elders know about this? Jey said it was their idea. Roman places the tribal chief lay over the title, symbolizing that this match is not just for the championship. It is also for the head of the table, the tribal chief, who's going to be in control. The two get up and they have this, which I thought was a nice touch too. They had this almost like ceremonial moment where they like lock hands and go like forehead to forehead, which I thought was.
I thought that was cool too. Yeah,
me too. 'Cause it's like regardless of how much of a maniac and maniacal narcissist that Roman has turned into and plays up and whatever, he still has respect for the family and for like
it's still his
traditions.
It's still his blood at the end of the day.
Yep. So they I'd like that little forehead to forehead, like whatever you want to call that.
And then
Solo flips over the table. He's about to lay out Jey with a Samoan spike.
Dude's crazy.
Roman dives in, holds the arm, stops him. Jey takes the opportunity to hit Solo with a super kick, and Jey and Roman are at a standstill. The show goes off the air.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think this was the strongest segment, but I think it did its job, served its purpose. It didn't need to be. I think there were enough small details in there, like you said, the handshake, head to head, Solo getting involved at the end. Roman kind of like he super kicked him. Roman was looking at him like he was like shocked or whatever. I also kind of like, and these are little things like we're saying like the crowd and stuff. Roman was like, shut up, like telling the crowd to shut up. I like how he interacts with the crowd. Like that is kind of showing he's like he's losing his temper now. He's really he's getting pushed to his limits now.
And it's almost again where it's like that thing of like, you know, they booed him years ago and then he became a top guy and he was getting cheered. Now that Jey is taking the spotlight, he's getting booed again and he fucking hates it.
I really like that whole like roller coaster. I like looking at things from the bigger perspective here. Just like how you said, like getting booed, came back, top guy.
I look at the world a little different.
I like to look things from a different perspective. But yeah, I just think it's just the arc and just the roller coaster of the storyline to where we are now, where he's back to getting just like full blown booed. Because a while he was the top heel, but he was getting cheered, like, you know, with Sammy and all that stuff. So it's just very interesting to see where this storyline has gone. And SummerSlam, that match between them is going to be like an hour long. It's going to be
an hour. It's going to be.
It might take up half the show.
I was going to say there's going to be some bet line or whatever of how much time before they actually like touch each other. Like, it's going to be like 10 or 15 minutes.
Like him and Sammy took him like 10 minutes to even do anything. Yeah, it's going to be, the atmosphere is going to be crazy. The energy is going to be insane. It's going to be all out war. And it being no DQ or tribal combat.
Yeah, I guess that's what it is, right?
It makes me think that there's going to be some shenanigans.
Of course.
Jimmy probably will be involved. Solo will be involved. Maybe they talk about the elders. Maybe the elders. Maybe Rikishi shows up and gives a stink face. I don't know. Something could happen. But that being known makes me think that there's going to be lots going to happen during that match.
It's coming up. I am really looking forward to SummerSlam.
I'm pissed I'm not going to be around. I'm gonna be in the Cape with my girlfriend. I'm gonna like have it on my phone. Like we're gonna be out doing stuff. I'm like for that match especially.
Out at like a nice like Italian restaurant on the Cape.
Dinner. I'm gonna have it set up like this. Eating my food really quick, watching it. No, genuinely, I'm gonna make sure I'm not missing it. I'm not missing it. She'll understand.
I think still, especially now that things are like ramping up, I see highlights on Twitter and stuff. I think still nothing will and has touched the tribal chief moment, or the whatever you want to call it. I don't give a damn what the tribal chief thing, and the looking like they like mwah.
That's
like,
a top 2 moment. It might not be 2.
It might not be. There was another one I saw on Twitter where I was like, oh, I forget what it was.
They put out a thing on WWE released on YouTube. It was like the journey of Jey Uso. It was like it's 2 hours long.
Oh,
I
wow.
didn't watch it. I'm assuming it's from his debut to now. Like,
Interesting.
But yeah, I haven't gotten a chance yet. But I'm sure it's a good one.
But that's, I mean, we talked about it last week. We're gonna talk about it again next week, so we might not want to go crazy on it now. But like, has anything with you changed?
No, no, it hasn't. I'm still in the camp that Roman's gonna win.
Yeah.
And I think the whole no DQ thing I think it helps that case. If anything, it's helped me lean more towards Roman.
Yeah.
At the same time, it's not like I'm like 90-10. I do still, there's like I'd say like 60-40. I think last week I was like 55. Now I think I'm 60-40.
Yeah.
I still think that there is a world and a good chance that
I'm still
Jey
riding
wins.
with Jay. Gotta be honest with you. Still riding.
Because I don't think it would be the worst decision.
Dream.
I don't think it would be the worst decision. It comes, like I said, it's comparable to Sami Zayn. I think if you want to make a big moment, you want to get a star out of it, you have Jey win. And I think that would be a huge moment, and you could work with that. I've said it last week. I'm not going to go in circles.
Right.
I don't think this reign ends.
We'll talk about it a lot next week.
Yeah, I don't think the reign ends anywhere but Mania at this point. It's just too legendary, too much. But that's where I stand right now.
Like I said, if we were to do predictions right now, we'd have a different prediction.
We'd have a different one. But good thing we're not doing that right now. That's next week.
I want to take a second to pause real quick. Something I just noticed. I think I didn't notice now because I saw your Instagram post.
I know what you're going to
say. You shaved the stash. I didn't even know.
Yeah,
I didn't even bring it up.
Yeah. So
what was it because you were seeing Post Malone?
No.
You were like,
so I forgot how it started. Me and my girlfriend were talking about something. It was like growing long, whatever.
Yeah.
Like I have to trim it, whatever. And then I brought up how like I used to just have the mustache, and I did it once. I shaved it for WrestleMania.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah,
that was the only time that she had seen me with a mustache or whatever. And I was just talking about shaving it. She's like, "Oh, I really liked it when you had this look." And she brings up one of my old TikToks, and it was when I had like this look. And I was like, "Oh, so you like the mustache?" She goes, "Yeah, I liked it."
I for some reason I thought she wasn't as into it.
Me too. Same. Me too. No, she was like, "No, I think I like this." She's like, "When is it like gonna grow like back fully?" I'm like, "Probably like a week and a half, 2 weeks, because that's when we're going to the Cape." And she's like, "Okay, yeah, you can shave it." So it'll be back in time for when we go, like when I'm around her family and stuff. Like, not that she's like, you can't have your mustache around my family or whatever. She posted a picture of us on Facebook, and her mom, like, they made comments. You're not
gonna bring that mustache to the Cape,
no
are
way.
you?
No mustache is allowed.
That's so
you can't come on our boat with that lip hair.
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
Oh, you only have 2 weeks. You have 2 weeks. 2 weeks max.
That's so funny.
No, but she was like, "Oh no, I like that look." I'm like, "All right," and I go in the bathroom and I just
like, oh,
I was like, "Sounds
I feel
good."
That.
No, that is why. But yeah, I guess in honor of Post Malone, but also I don't know.
That's what I thought it was.
It's also good.
Were you on the lawn?
Yeah, I was on the line.
That's because that's a very we're drinking tall boys and having mustaches.
Oh, I had some tall boys. It's like it's good to also just like to reset, because it's like when you have hair growing for so long, it's just like
when I used to do like the beard like a couple years ago, like doing a fresh like I feel
once every like few like 2 months or something. I think it's a good change.
See, and I like not to make this whole thing about this, but I like I rarely do like the naked skin mustache. I like the stubble.
What sucks to me though is my hair grows back so quick. Yeah. So it's like when it comes back, it's growing back here, it's growing back my neck, it's everywhere.
That's that Italian blood, baby. Look at you.
Fuck, it's a gift and a curse.
It's a gift and a curse.
All right, back to
what
wrestling.
Are we talking about?
Yeah. Your boy. Yeah.
Okay. I'm surprised I'm
surprised it took us this long to get to it.
Rey Mysterio. People aren't happy. People are not happy.
I'm one of them.
Rey Mysterio defeats Sheamus, LA Knight, and Cameron Grimes to advance in this United States Championship thing. I'm amped. I'm excited.
I'm not.
I don't give a shit.
I'm not
Let's
mad that
fucking
Ray.
go.
I'm not mad that Ray won. I'm not mad that
I'm off
he
the
won.
LA Knight train. I'm off the LA Knight train.
It's just what are we doing?
I'm getting my refund.
What are we doing?
I'm getting my refund before the 90 days
And
is
you
up.
know what?
You guys have fun on this fucking train going nowhere. I'm off.
But what pisses me off is everyone on Twitter is like, "Oh no, but they're gonna push him after SummerSlam."
It happens every time.
Then they're gonna push him after Saudi Arabia, and then they're gonna push him after Survivor Series and the Rumble.
That's what I put on Twitter. I remember at fucking Money in the Bank, and I'm fully in the LA Knight should have won Money in the Bank, and he lost, and instantly everyone was like LA Knight should win Money in the Bank. Everyone was like LA Knight should win Money in the Bank, except for a handful of people. He lost, and I was like, damn, that sucks. And I was like, no, John, no, that was the right decision that he lost because they're gonna push him and and he's gonna win the United States Championship tomorrow off of Theory. And then look what happens. Look what happens. John's right, and everyone's pissed. That's what happened.
I am pissed because it's like WWE, and it's like you don't always have to strike when the pot's hot, when the iron's hot. You don't gotta strike. I mean, Sami Zayn was the hottest thing in wrestling, and he didn't do anything with that. Same with Cody Rhodes. I get it. LA Knight hasn't won a main roster title, so maybe you don't want to give him Money in the Bank right away. Okay, but you have a mid-card title in the United States Championship. I get it. Okay, maybe you want to build up the hard times, breed better men storyline with him. Like, you don't just get thrown in championship pictures. You have to work for it like a hardworking man that you are. But we get to a point where, and I do believe he's still going to have a lot of momentum because he has fans on his side.
Right.
But I'm just saying, we can't start saying like, oh, but wait a few more weeks.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. It's coming.
Be patient.
It's coming.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to hear that because we know WWE. We know how they operate. It doesn't matter who's in charge. They don't always make the right choices, the right decisions. I'm not saying Ray winning was the wrong choice. I'm not saying that.
I love it.
I think I'm fine with it because at the end of the day, I want LA Knight to lose the belt. Not LA Knight. I want Theory to lose the belt.
Yeah.
I would have liked it if LA Knight was the one to beat him. Whether it's Escobar or Rey Mysterio, it doesn't matter. I want someone new to win the U.S. Championship. It's just like WWE, and I know you have to agree with this. LA Knight has something.
Yeah,
he's got the look.
Let me clarify my point. I was, for the sake of it being funny, and I was being like a little hyperbolic, but I'm still an LA Knight guy. Still love LA Knight. I still think he has a future. I'm off the train now. I'm gonna get back on the train when he's getting pushed or whatever in a couple months, like 6 months, 4 to 6 months, 8 months. 11 months, next SummerSlam. I think he's going to get pushed eventually. You can't deny the crowd reaction, and I don't like looking at the dirt sheets, but there are reports like Vince McMahon likes LA Knight, or, there's all this backstage
I also see
stuff.
things like, he
rubs people the wrong way. I saw it too.
Who knows?
I still think he is over with the crowd, but just to clarify, because I want you to go off with your point, but I just want to clarify mine where I'm just saying I am removing myself from the train of every single pay-per-view, every single whatever, people being like, LA Knight's gotta win, LA Knight this, LA Knight. I'm off the train. I'm from a distance. I'm rooting
You'll keep
for
an
him.
eye on it.
I have the train schedule.
Yeah, you have the train schedule. Yeah,
I'm just not hopping on this one.
That's
you know
fair.
What I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get back on. Call me a bandwagoner or not. But I'm gonna, I love being a bandwagoner. Speaking of that, but anyway, sorry. So go ahead. I just want to clarify.
It's just, I don't want WWE. I don't want it to get to a point where like he has this momentum, he has the fans on his side, but it's not guaranteed that it's gonna last forever. Because that's fans get tired of it. It's like, okay,
I'm tired of it.
Let's say 3 more months of this go. Let's just say 3 months of this goes by. In 3 months, they might be tired of him just like not getting a championship match or whatever. People get tired. Like wrestling fan, I'm not trying to say anything about wrestling fans or like wrestling in general, but people move on quickly. Yeah. Like you have your hot commodity, your favorite toy right now, and a few months later you're gonna have a new favorite toy. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like that's how wrestling works. That's a revolving door. People gain momentum. People go on. People get booked. Whatever. LA Knight, like right now, is a great opportunity for him. I personally thought it would have been a great way to get things moving with him. Whether a U.S. title match on a big pay-per-view, whether he wins or loses, just giving him that opportunity, I think would have been good for him.
I agree.
But yeah, I get, like, I don't know the future. They might have. I'm not gonna be that guy, but they might have something else set up for him. I just hope that they don't waste this. That's my. I just hope they don't waste it. I don't think they will, because we see the reactions, we see the numbers on social media. Like, that's the other thing too.
Yeah.
It's like YouTube views, social media views.
On Twitter before the match, before the show, they put out a poll with the 4 men, and they were like, "Oh, who do you who do you want to win? Who do you got to win?" Over 4,000 votes. LA Knight had 82% of the votes.
He's popular. Yeah. He's popular, and like, for good reason. Like, he has something. He has it. He's one of the best talkers in the company. He's got a good look. He's got a decent moveset. He can do a lot. I just hope WWE doesn't throw this away. I don't think they will, but I hope they don't.
So do you think? And I see this. I don't really have an opinion on it now, but do you think he's just gonna get? I mean, it's similar to Cody, but do you think he's just gonna keep getting beaten down and losing, and then build him up higher?
I think it's kind of like they're getting fans, like they're building the fans up more. It's like, so they build up that reaction,
like they're getting the fans more and more pissed, and then once he does
they're backing him up more.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, not like a pity thing, but it's like he keeps losing. We're gonna keep standing by him, so when that moment comes, it's a bigger moment. But also, like, I will give WWE the credit, like, during the Fatal 4 match, like, he didn't get pinned or anything like that. So they're kind of like, in a way, protecting him.
And he did talk before the match. He did. No one else had a promo before the match.
They're giving him time. He's getting TV time. He's getting, he's not the one eating pins or anything, which is a positive.
At the end of the day, if he's on TV, that's a good thing. So it's
exactly.
Like,
it's not like
someone sees something in him.
So, yeah. We could talk about Ray winning, unless you have something else to say about LA Knight.
I was going to say, I want the best for him. And this isn't me saying this is what I want, but I would not be shocked if WWE fumbles LA Knight and they don't give him anything. I would not be shocked if there's no LA Knight push. Maybe he wins a U.S. title in the future, but just judging, unless I'm getting totally worked, as they say, maybe. And, all of a sudden he's going to get this big push, and they're like, oh, we just wanted to make the bigger reaction, whatever. I don't know. I'm pretty worn out, kind of like exactly like you were saying. That fan that's worn out. Yeah. It's kind of me. I'm kind of worn out. I don't care anymore, to be honest with you. Yeah. But again, like I said, if next week he wins, or after SummerSlam he starts getting built back up, right back on that train.
That's the thing. We're 1 week away from SummerSlam, so I can't imagine. I don't know what they would be able to do for him. Like, what program
he can get thrown in. SummerSlam. I don't think he's having a match. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what they do with him, but I just hope they don't waste it. That's all.
But with that said, your Hall of Famer Rey fucking Mysterio.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with it.
Ray, the story's nice too. You're getting Ray versus Santos, LWO, mentor versus the teacher, whatever. I don't know what you
mentor versus mentee, pupil. Now I'm going to say something you might not like. Santos should win between the two.
Yeah, I don't have an opinion on it.
I don't think either one I'm fine with.
Yeah,
because my hope is that whoever wins between those two beats Theory. 100%. I hate it because I was a Theory defender for a long time, but after WrestleMania, they haven't done shit with him. He hasn't done absolute shit.
They have Grayson Waller now. They don't need him.
I saw something on Twitter. Someone said that Theory and Waller would be a good tag team together. If they're trying to give Theory die him down a little bit, that might not be. They might be able. I don't know. Might be able to do something.
Don't let Grayson anywhere near Theory. Is my take.
So going back to the match, I would prefer Santos winning just because Ray, him winning would be great and everything, but he's a Hall of Fame. Yeah. He could add more to his resume. That's great. I think we're at a point now. It's like Santos Escobar. He had a great run in NXT. He's a very good competitor. Yeah. He's proven during his time in NXT that he's a credible mid-card champion. He's held North American Cruiserweight, all that stuff. I think he would be a great U.S. champ. I think it would be fresh, someone new, bringing a belt into the LWO. I think that would be cool too. You can say the same. Everything I said about Santos, you can say about Ray too. I think Ray winning would be cool. Just, one more good run before, he goes off into the sunset. Again, brings a tell into the LWO. But I'm more of like the next generation, like kind of like giving that extra push. So that's why I think Santos can win. But either way,
Yeah,
I'd be fine.
I don't have too strong opinion. I mean, like my diehard ride or die with Ray is gonna root for Ray.
Yeah, naturally. Yeah.
I'd hope Ray wins. I would love to see Ray with a title, but zooming out to more of like a, I don't know, because like my I want Ray to win is me watching it as a fan, which I like doing. But like, yeah, I mean, these are both my guys. Either person winning, I'm gonna be hyped. The match, I'm very excited for
match,
it. They're doing that. This
I would think
SmackDown.
Yeah.
My only worry is, and granted, it's for the U.S. title, so this is kind of like the point of the U.S. title. But is Santos like? Is WWE behind Santos? Does Santos? I don't know. Is Santos at that point yet? Because I don't. He's over with the crowd, and he's definitely a babyface, and he's in a great stable. But Santos solo,
Yeah, I got that.
I believe in
He
him.
hasn't done a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I believe in him. I'm just worried that he's gonna plateau or whatever if he wins a title, and it's like, I don't know. You know what I mean?
I get that. I think he's protected enough where like he's got the Rey Mysterio rub and like has the LWO backup to be able to put on a solid reign. And like I think he'll have fine matches. I don't think that'll be an issue. I think he'll have a good reign when it comes to that. But I think he'll be being in the LWO, being with Rey Mysterio, he'll have a big enough popularity where I understand with the whole plateau thing. I think it's just enough for it to be like he could have a good solid reign. The fans will
I hope so. I'm rooting for him.
I do think there is a world too where like he'll win it and it's like, all right, it's a cool moment. Then it's like, oh, Santos Escobar is the champ. Like, like he was well known in NXT. Those fans might not be as familiar with him now on the, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I don't know.
Charlotte Flair defeats Io Sky before the show, which I don't love when they do this, but they announced on social media that we're getting a big match to not announce on a show.
For real.
Asuka versus Charlotte versus Bianca for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Before we get into the match, that has match of the night potential.
Definitely.
I'm excited for it.
I'm nervous Charlotte's gonna win.
I'm
very nervous Charlotte's. I'm not a Charlotte hater. It's just like,
no, me neither. I'm definitely not.
I want Asuka to have.
I want Asuka to win.
I want
so
her to
bad.
win really bad.
And whether she wins on a heel way with the mist or whatever, but like win fairly, like decisive.
Yeah,
that's all I need.
I want one or two outcomes. I want either Asuka to win and retain, or I want Bianca to turn heel somehow during the match and win. That's the only way I'd want Bianca to win if she changes her character up. Charlotte, get out of here. I don't want to see her holding another title right now.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to be Asuka. And plus, like if Io's still holding, which I don't think she's. I mean, who knows? We might see some shenanigans with the briefcase at SummerSlam, but. I mean, we all want Asuka and Io.
Yeah, I still think that match is on the table.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just I'm
as long as
I'm with you.
Charlotte
I'm just nervous. I'm just nervous. But she defeats Io Sky. Speaking of Io Sky in this match, again makes sense because Charlotte's going into the big match. She's gonna get the win. There was a lot of damage control stuff. Bailey. Shotzi has a new look.
Yep.
Shaved her head, which I think is because of her friend who's going through cancer.
Like
I think
her sister,
or sister's going through cancer.
Someone who she knows has cancer. Yeah.
And then, which like just like noble and really really cool and
very
selfish
sweet.
thing of her, selfless thing of her to do. And then also cool that they're just like, all right, well we can tie this into a story.
Yeah,
and boom,
sure. Yeah.
Kill two birds with one stone here. And yeah, so it's a lot of storytelling here. I'm curious when the blow off between Damage Control is going to happen. Asuka comes in and attacks Charlotte post match. Again, not much else to say about this other than I hope Asuka wins at SummerSlam.
Yeah, it would be very disappointing.
Yeah,
it would be very disappointing.
Back on Santos and Theory, we kind of already talked about it, but Santos gets the upper hand on Theory.
Yep.
So he's got a dub over him.
They've been doing
He's got a dub over him.
They've been doing that match at live events too.
Oh,
Santos versus Theory, which is like, I don't want to be that guy, but like usually when they do matches like that, it's kind of like they're like test run kind of. You know what I mean? I don't want to be that guy like, oh, that means Santos is gonna win, but it's, I don't know. They're really, it seems like they're really starting to give Santo a little push.
Yeah, I mean, I could even see like the Rey and Santos match. Not that Rey's gonna take a knee for him, but like after the match, I think there's gonna be a big like show of respect.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
like almost a passing the torch.
Did you see? I don't know if this. Maybe it was this past SmackDown. Dragon Lee from NXT was there. He shook hands with Ray, and Ray gave him
I saw
permission
that
to
on like Twitter or
his
whatever
son for the NXT North American
belt.
belt.
That's funny. They had, which I guess that's a good time to touch on it. They were apparently I think they were in Orlando, so they're around the NXT spot. A lot of NXT representation on the show.
Yeah, it was.
You had
a lot of people in the crowd. Carmelo and Trick.
Dragon Lee was with Wesley, I believe.
Wesley,
right ringside.
Tiffany Stratton was there.
I don't know, the two blonde girls. Are they in NXT? Who are they? I saw something on Twitter.
The two blonde girls.
They're like the because of the C Cavanero. Hold on.
I don't know.
Talk about Dom for me while I find this.
I honestly hope Dom has a solid reign with this NXT North American belt.
People are hating on him.
People hate it. Fuck him. I like that he's going to different shows and defending it. Now that I've come to terms with the brand split being dead, I'm fine. Whatever.
I'm like Raw and SmackDown still seem pretty separate. I like the NXT bleed in because it gives NXT more especially if they're trying to make it its own brand and no longer looked at as like a developmental thing as it's become again. I like that.
I think that's smart too because you're trying to get people to watch NXT to get them more familiar with these talents, and it's obviously worked. Their ratings have been very good the last few months. But yeah, I like Dom kind of having this single title so we can have these matches against guys like Butch and on Raw, which we'll talk about, Sami Zayn, defending it down NXT as well. I think it's a great opportunity for him. I think it's a great first belt for him to have to kind of like,
for sure.
He's involved in the Judgment Day, more of like I view him more of like a tag team guy than a solo guy. But now that he has this belt, he's able to have these solo matches, work on his skill set a little bit more, his character work, which is already really, really good, but just adding to it. And even have people don't like it. I think that speaks to how good he's been. Like he's still getting monster heat, and it's gotten like worse with him having the belt. So I think it's doing great things to his character.
And I think he is, for what it's worth. Again, and I tweeted this, and I'm not saying he's putting on classics. He's not. He has improved. Yes, he did drop Wesley on his head during their match, but
he's not. He still has a lot to learn. But he's gotten better. He has gotten better. You're having a.
I thought I could. I saw it when I was like. I did take some notes. I don't even know if they're
two blonde. Oh, the Cavender twins. They played. No, they have NIL deals with WWE. They're signed. They
have NIL.
It's like the name and likeliness, like NCAA thing. So they played for University of Miami basketball. So they signed a training NIL deal with the WWE. So when they're done with their college career, they can come over to WWE and train and become superstars.
Oh, what?
That's what Gable Stevenson has too. I think he's a little bit more different. I think he has like a legit contract. But no. So they did make an appearance in NXT recently.
I thought they were ringside at SmackDown.
They were ringside.
Oh, okay.
They were ringside. But yeah, no, they're college basketball players, and I think they were at NXT a few weeks ago. And being there, I do think that they're going to do something. I guess they're going to start training or whatever. But yeah, they're not active wrestlers. They're college athletes that might turn into wrestlers.
It's a little bit of a diversion. How do we feel about that? About I guess let me phrase the question more. This is a while ago where I heard like WWE is starting to do this and starting to pick people out from college.
They signed a few people.
Yeah. But there's a lot we don't know. Like I don't know if Gable Stevenson watched wrestling growing up. Sure. I don't know if he wanted to be a wrestler. I don't know any of these things. Same with the twins.
Yeah, sure.
But surface level, zoomed out, face value, it does seem like, oh, WWE is just picking these college athletes who very well could have played in the WNBA or been a professional, Olympian, whatever. I guess I don't even know what the question is, but like how do you feel about WWE just picking these college athletes just strictly off like the athletes thing? And it seems like there's a little bit missing of like, when the Miz came in and he was like, or I don't know why I just chose the Miz, but like everyone else coming in and be like, I watched wrestling since I was a kid. I spent time in the indies or not in the indies, and WWE just signed him. But there's always like that classic story of, I spent time doing X, Y, and Z, and I loved the business, and I want to break in, And now for the first time ever, we're seeing more of a professional sports route.
You're just a great athlete. That's how you got in.
Yeah. And another thing, but before you give your answer, I was listening to, not to preface this, but maybe it's not that big of an old thing, because I listened to, I don't know if you're a Theo Vaughn guy. I listened to
a few episodes.
I listened to Hulk Hogan's episode of Theo. Theo Vaughn just had
I saw
Hulk
a clip on that. They were talking about Ric Flair. I saw the clip.
They were talking about Ric Flair.
About
Apparently, they're like, Ric Flair wakes up, takes a shot of gin.
Yeah, he's crazy. Hulk Hogan's like, no, really. Yeah.
Also, Hogan, it's like, again, we're not Hogan guys. We don't condone, Hogan stuff. But he has like, the way he talks sometimes is either he's telling like a little bit of a lie, or like he
definitely seems like a guy that fabricates a few
You can tell he's fabricating the whole time.
Definitely.
And also like there's a slight diss on John Cena.
I think Hulk Hogan is a very pitiful, like jealous type of person.
Wicked.
Like with the whole Shawn Michaels thing.
Yeah.
He was like, he had to win. Since he's been WWE, since he's been like top guy, it was always like, oh my god, like he gets the call. Like he was like, I always have to win and stuff. He had creative control in WCW and stuff. Like he
said one thing where he was like, he talked about his like, or he talked about over people in NWA or AWA, whatever it is, and sometimes when Ric Flair was down there, they would go like an hour to a no contest, and he said, hey, brother, if you're putting me in there for an hour, I'll just say beat me and go home. And I was like, bullshit.
Yeah, you say
but
that
also,
now.
So there's a lot of stuff he was talking about. And when you hear other interviews with other wrestlers, especially like a John Cena, and I think there's some, I'm speculating, but it seems like there's some clash in the bulls there.
I think when there's anyone that he feels as a threat to him as being like, people consider Hulk Hogan one of the best wrestlers, right? If there's anyone else that's even in that light, he's like, no, I'm the best, brother. There's no one better than me.
I forget. He was saying, it was a point I wanted to make. I forget what it was. But anyway, I'll get back. There was a lot of interesting, no matter who was talking, like, it's always interesting to hear like the behind the scenes stuff. But so my point, I'll get back to the whole, I'm all over the place now, but I'll get back to the college thing. He was saying, he started out in a rock band or whatever the fuck. And
Hogan?
Yeah. Okay. I guess he like played music, and he was like did like rock and roll gigs or whatever down in Tampa. And he worked construction for a little bit and hated it. And he wasn't a wrestling fan. He didn't really watch wrestling as a kid. He, didn't really, it wasn't on his radar.
Sure.
And I forget what the story was, but one of his buddies or someone just had him like try out. And he like tried out, didn't get the hang of it, or whatever. And then he's like, oh, but once I understood the business of like, the character work and all that. But the way he talked about getting in the business was very like, almost like, I figured out the system. I tricked the system. All these other guys are all like, wrestling purists and like care about the business. Me, I just figured it out and made a shit ton of money. Now, I do think he does care about wrestling. He wouldn't still be, well, I don't know. He does capitalize off his name still. So like, who knows how Hulk Hogan cares about wrestling? But I guess this is all very long-winded. I apologize. But all I'm saying with that is, in the 80s or whatever, even Hulk Hogan had like I'm in a rock band. I don't care. Oh, I'm kind of athletic. I can capitalize off this opportunity.
Wrestling was a lot different back then too, where it's just like, it wasn't much choreography going into it. It was very just like run of the mill, just like throw a few punches, easy moves.
He was saying like
a leg drop was the best. A leg drop and a running splat were the best moves for 10, 15 years.
So I don't know. I guess like all I brought that up for was like to compare of like there's athletes nowadays who are way better athletes and are just like see the WWE opportunity, but it did happen back in the day,
right?
So it's not like it's a new thing. Is all I guess with all that, all I was trying to get across is like it might not be a new thing, but it has come to light again. It is happening more and more in a different way.
Right.
After 10 minutes of me explaining that, what do you think?
So, personally, I'm indifferent with like the route it takes to get like Logan Paul. I'm out here saying each and every week that he's one of the best athletes on the roster. If he was full time, he would be one of the best stars. He has no I mean, like I think he does have a wrestling background, but not like in the sense of like professional wrestling Indians. Like Seth Rollins started in Ring of Honor, AJ Styles, Bryan Danielson, Samoa Joe. They started from like fighting in garages and auditoriums and stuff.
Right.
That I think I have more of a likeness and a respect towards wrestlers that did come up like with those types of backgrounds, because I think I respect it more when you love what you do and you have respect for the industry. Excuse me. At the same time, if there's someone like Logan Paul or even the twins, you put the time into it, you put the work into it, and you take advantage of your God-given talents, whatever, and you become a really good wrestler, that's fine. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you played basketball before this. Like, no, you shouldn't be pushed because of that, like where you came from. Like, no, I think that like as long as you're not like, how can I say this? Like it's not like WWE pushes the twins with like, and they're awful in the ring. Yeah. But like they're just doing it because like of their look or like with their name, whatever it is. Like if they're getting pushed for the right reasons, like then whatever. Then who cares? I think that's where I stand.
I think that's where I'm at too. I think what makes Logan, because I haven't heard any Gable Stevensons or the twins.
He's actually debuting at a Great American Bash NXT next weekend. So I think he's now officially gonna be in the WWE, but I still don't know.
I think what makes wrestling, or with Logan Paul, what makes that different, I think, is like, especially if you listen to his podcast, he has such a passion. I think you can, like, let's say
maybe I shouldn't have used him as an example. He's a little different because he is
but I think it's a good example. So at least it's the same idea, but what differentiates him is like he had a growing appreciation. He probably didn't have. Let's just assume he had no appreciation for the business 5 years ago and didn't care about it, whatever. But at least now, when you listen to him, he's gone back and like, learned history, and he has an appreciation, and he has all this stuff. So I think as long as I don't think there's necessarily a rule where it's like you had to watch wrestling as a kid to be a wrestler.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think. I think it does help in terms of like seeing on-screen passion or help. Even like in a storyline where it's like someone's like getting passionate in a promo, like I've been wanting to do this since I was a kid. You know how many storylines we've seen where they pull up it happened with Bailey
with holding a belt.
Exactly. It happens with everyone. So it definitely does help in terms
There's definitely
of like
a picture out there, one of those twins holding maybe like a woman, like a belt or something like that when they were kids, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, but
you never know.
But that's kind of also the point, is like I am also kind of coming at this like I don't know anything about Gable or the twins. I don't know if they. I've never heard them talk. This is all just general talking about an athlete that might not have any, prior knowledge. But I think what makes that different than like an athlete signing to like the NBA or whatever. Right. And maybe it's different. I'm not like a traditional sports fan necessarily, or like as big. But if a guy got picked up, let's say he was like an Olympian, or let's say somehow he just got, or I guess you do have to like be good in college. This metaphor doesn't make sense. But let's just say a guy comes into the NBA, almost maybe like a Jokic, where might not really give a shit about basketball. Never watched basketball as a kid.
Dude.
You know what I'm saying?
Dude, there was a podcast about a month. Have you heard? Do you know DeMar DeRozan? He's on Chicago Bull. Him and Paul George are on I forget. It's one of their podcasts. And they were talking about it. He goes, DeMar DeRozan's like, there are so many, like, there are probably majority of the players in our league don't give a fuck about basketball. They show up because like they know we're getting to a point now where like you're just like good at it, and it's like you just go in to make money. He goes, some people come in there, just come in, try to put up their numbers, and they're out. Like they don't talk ball, they don't watch ball, they just like it's their job.
How do they feel about that?
They hate it. Like guys like that, they're like, you can tell. Like you can just tell when someone doesn't have a passion for it. Like you can tell some guys are there to get the money, and in comparison to like actually wanting to win a ring or something like that. I just think like with this like maybe next generation of athletes or something like that, we're just getting to a point where there's so many like gifted athletes. Like me and Kevin have this conversation with basketball all the time. There's just so much talent nowadays where it's like kids are just talented.
I mean, the level of athleticism these days
all around, not even just basketball, any sport. It's insane. So it's like you're gonna have those people that
especially
are just
baseball. I can't imagine any of the league likes baseball. Baseball sucks.
It's like, you're telling me, damn, I can throw 100 and get $100 million. Fuck, I'll do that once every 5 days.
Any of these baseball players give a shit about baseball?
I can't imagine after.
Sorry, Joey.
I can't imagine after playing a game for 3 hours, you just want to go home and watch another game after or something like that. No, but going back, it's like there's a lot of good athletes, and it's like you could just be really good at something and just want to capitalize on it, get a check, and call it a day. You know,
I think that's what at least makes WWE at least a little different. Is I think you have to have
some skill.
Well, you have to have some skill, but I think you also need to, at least if you didn't give a shit about it before, once you enter the business, you need to at least find a passion and appreciation for it.
Yeah, you can't go in there and sandbag it. You have to enjoy what you do.
And I think that just naturally happens. Like with a Logan Paul, again, you listen to him on his podcast, and he really gives a shit about the business. I think all he cares about.
When you look at it from the outside, you might think of it once you're in that world. Like Logan Paul, he's like, wow, this is fucking crazy.
I can't imagine a Gable Stevenson,
I think so. Or Steve's, whatever.
I can't imagine he or any athlete coming into WWE would make it that far if they don't at least like grow some sort of like, oh, I know who Shawn Michaels is.
Exactly.
Oh, I know. You know what I mean?
They bring up they bring up The Rock. Who the hell is?
But like you were saying, it seems like it's a little. Well, not that it's fine, but like it seems like it's a little bit of a different story. And again, I'm sure it's different between fan and act. Like I'm sure if we asked like, Bryan Danielson, his opinion, I'm just not to put words in his mouth, but like just a wrestling purist, a wrestler, he'd be like, no, they need to fucking live and breathe this.
Yeah.
I'm sure, and I'm sure with like a DeMar DeRozan,
right,
he's also in the same camp. Like I want my NBA players to live and breathe this shit. I had somewhere I was going with that, but yeah. I don't know. I don't know. It's an interesting. I think we're on the same page. I definitely with basketball. I mean, again, I'm not really a basketball guy necessarily. Like, I could give a shit if Jokic even knew who Michael Jordan was. You know what I mean?
But I'll tell you what. Jokic might be the craziest example because I don't think he cares about basketball. Like he's the best player.
That's what I'm saying.
He literally like when they won the championship and stuff like that. He like they were trying to interview him and he was just like, "How do you feel? We won."
There's a clip of
like he lost his Finals MVP trophy.
Hey, we have a parade. He's like, went tomorrow.
He wanted to go horse race. So he wanted to go home. He lost his Finals MVP trophy. He goes, "It was in the locker room. I went to get it and it was gone." He like didn't give a fuck.
Doesn't give a shit.
That's I think it's sick. But so going to the NIL thing, I do think it's interesting how WWE does it because like they signed them to like a bunch of other people. I think it's just kind of like they're getting their hands on these people to kind of like, oh, like we'll have them in our back pocket. Like if it doesn't work out, at least we locked them up or something.
That's true.
Like that.
I guess that's the big difference between like a basketball team signing with someone from the draft. It's like, no, you are our future.
Yeah.
But WWE is signing these people like, we have you so AEW doesn't.
Exactly.
or so any other sport doesn't.
Exactly.
And in 3 years, if you don't give a shit or you don't work out, we tried.
Well, there's going to be a bunch of new athletes we can try to sign.
That too.
Right?
That too.
So,
I don't know.
I'm
curious. I'm curious what. I mean, I'm curious if you have a take on this in the comments. Let me know because I think this. I'd imagine it varies between like real wrestling purists and more modern day fans.
Yeah, it's like what do you?
I don't know.
Like, do you actually have like a pick a side? Like again, I'm indifferent about it.
Yeah.
I think I'm more.
I'm indifferent, but I think I'm I'm indifferent, but I definitely lean toward you need something.
I'm more attached to wrestlers that have that background, or have that, like a Seth Rollins, or even like, I didn't even bring that Roman Reigns. Like, even before he started wrestling, he wasn't like a wrestler. Like, he played football.
Yeah.
I think obviously it's in his bloodline and stuff like that. But it's like, you know, he didn't have much experience going into wrestling. Like, compared to Rollins and Mox when they were in the Shield.
Yeah, but I still think that's like way different. Like,
it is different, but it's still like, you know, you have wrestlers that don't have as much experience as like a Rollins or a Moxley.
10 years ago, that Roman Reigns path was like being talked about how like the NCAA path is now, because that was like the cheekier way. That's not the word, but
no,
you know
I understand what you mean. Yeah, I'd love to hear what people have to say. That's definitely a.
I haven't really heard many people talk about.
It's a conversation
that
for sure. I think it's very new. It's name, image, and likeliness. That's what the I stands for.
So are that their what's the twins' name?
The Cavender twin. I think it's
their
Hannah
real last
and
name?
Haley. Yeah, it's their real name.
So do WWE have rights?
I think so. Yeah, they signed them like a year ago. They didn't. It wasn't like a recent signing. They've had them for like before their last season in college.
I wonder how that works. It's their real last name. I mean, this is
so
now we're getting
the whole NIL thing. Yeah, the whole NIL thing is like for a long time, NCAA was just profiting off of everything. Now NIL is like you're able to sign with these other companies and profit off yourself. So while they were playing for NCAA, they were able to sign with WWE and benefit from it. Like they're getting paid from WWE. Like they're under a contract, and like you can get an NIL deal with Aquafina, or you can get a Gatorade or something. Like you can do all these things. Like Bronny James has like $6 million.
Okay, so WWE they have a contract, but WWE might not own the copyrights to their name.
They don't know, so they can still do they can work do other things. Like they can get a thing with Gatorade if they want. But I think it's restrictive. Like they can't go to AEW. There's like restrictions in that sense, but not with everything. If that makes sense. And there might be some things I just said that are wrong.
Sure.
From what I understand,
we're just chatting.
That's my understanding of it. So
you know, it's another interesting, a little bit of a deviation, but Tyler Breeze, I read this this morning. He so he's obviously not wrestling for WWE anymore. He's taken independent, whatever, but he still has a contract with WWE for up, down, down. And that prevents him from going to AEW. Yeah, I just saw it. It's crazy.
I did see that that interview. I read one of the quotes somewhere. He sounds like he's enjoying his life right now. He's like, they were like, do you have any do you want to step back in the ring? And he goes, if that day comes, like what if they call, like I'll whatever, we'll talk about it. But
I wonder how much he's getting for up, down, down.
Probably probably a decent amount if he's not wrestling, if he doesn't feel the need to wrestle. Yeah. Because if he was wrestling, he'd be making a lot of money. Yeah. That's for sure. But hey, he's enjoying his life. So as long as he's happy, that's what matters. So.
One other things we're on contracts. Was again going back to the Hulk Hogan. There's a lot of interesting, and I don't want to spend too much more time on the Hogan interview. But if you have a podcast, you're
I'll check it out. Yeah.
Again, it's interesting. Again, I want to make it clear. It's interesting, not in support of Hulk Hogan, but it's just interesting to hear, Theo pitches some interesting questions at him. It's interesting to hear, like, there is some, like, obviously true backstage stuff and behind, peek behind the curtain stuff that you hear from anyone. It's always interesting. But then there's some stuff where it's like, I don't know, Hulk. I don't know. But anyway, I thought this was interesting. There was a thing with I didn't know about any of this from in the early 90s. WWE got sued by Marvel for Hulk Hogan because it was infringement on the Hulk. And they ended up on an agreement. I'm gonna get this wrong, but they ended up on an agreement where between 1995 and 2005 there was some deal where WWE could use Hulk Hogan, but Marvel got point whatever percent. There was some deal, whatever. Yeah. And then, but somewhere along the lines in it was either after 2005 or during the contract with WWE, Hogan made a deal with Marvel that if they were ever to sell the name, Hogan will get first crack at it. And then they would legally have to let him buy it at whatever the appropriate market value was.
Interesting.
So Or yeah, it definitely happened before 2005. So anyway, 2005 hits and this contract is up, and now WWE no longer has the rights to Hulk Hogan. So Marvel's like, oh well, you can't sell you. Marvel said you can't sell any Hulk Hogan stuff. You can't even play any like Hulk Hogan matches, and that's like a big part of their fucking history.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think there was another lawsuit that happened. Either I think WWE sued Mattel or whatever, or not Mattel.
Marvel.
I just saw a Barbie movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm a Barbie.
Sued Marvel, and Marvel lost. So, and then this is where it gets muddy. So Marvel lost, and then WWE was allowed to use the likeness, but it was either then Marvel ended up selling. I think Marvel ended up selling, or some shit happened. But either way, them losing that. Oh, and then like Marvel owed WWE like $35 million because of the lawsuit.
I don't think I have to listen to the podcast. I'm getting all of it right now.
But it's up. But also, if you listen to them, you'd be able to hear it.
I understand.
Because I'm like, and this might have happened. This might have.
Oh, brother Marvel. Brother Marvel. Brother.
Theo can't help himself so many times in it. Theo just breaks out into brother. And Hogan's like, is like, all right, man. Yeah, Hogan does not really fuck with him.
I feel like Hogan's a old grumpy piece of shit.
Oh, for sure. That's how it comes on. And Theo will like joke and like tease him a little bit, and Hogan's just like, you're pretty weird, brother. And just like, he does not play it up. But anyway,
he doesn't seem like a friendly dude.
Long story short, something happened where Hogan was able to buy the rights, and they couldn't give WWE first crack. Hogan got first crack because of that former contract.
Gotcha.
So Hogan ended up buying his likeliness for $750,000.
That's it. Damn, that's awesome.
So Hulk Hogan owns
the name Hulk Hogan.
All the rights.
Honestly, that's good for him. Honestly, that's kind of good for him.
You know how much fucking money he's probably making?
Yeah, definitely. You know, like even guys like Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin, like they still get a percent of like all their merch.
Yeah.
Like John Cena, I think. I could be wrong. I think I saw a tweet. He made like between $8 and $12 million from WWE last year just from merch.
I believe it. I mean, Stone
Cold has had the number one selling shirt for decades. Like,
unfucking real.
I can't even imagine how much money those.
Yeah, I'm curious
forever. That's forever,
right.
bro. That's nuts.
I'm always curious how like who because I know like some wrestlers might own their name. Most of them don't, but like sometimes they do. What percentage do you think Stone Cold's getting on merch and what, like?
Yeah, it's definitely not like an overwhelming percentage, but it's definitely
it's
definitely not. It's
bet you like the bigger you get, the higher
maybe I
too.
can think maybe guys like Stone Cold and Cena have like there's no way they have anything higher than 50%. 0% chance. I think those two might have like a 30.
I was gonna say
30
it's gotta be
range or something
30,
like that. Yeah, because even like just in general like that, no way WWE is gonna give them a half percentage.
Like,
it doesn't work like that.
Even 5%,
20% of a number one selling shirt is still gonna be millions and millions of dollars. So I wouldn't complain.
Anyway,
right,
I'm glad
we talked. Dom,
yeah, Dom.
You can give your thoughts on that. If you
want, whatever.
All right. Monday Night Raw.
Monday night. This is where my notes end.
Monday Night Judgment Day.
I'm going off of Bleacher Report. Here, what happened here? Opening segment. I kind of forget everything that happened. Raw opened with Rhea Ripley, Damian. Yep. Samantha
Shout
Irvin.
Out Samantha Irvin.
See, oh my god.
She's an SCW fan.
Legend.
She commented on our TikTok. She's officially our biggest fan.
Thank you, boys. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it. Shut it down.
Shut it down.
We
peaked.
Oh my god, that was sick. And then that tweet got like fucking 700 likes.
That tweet did really well.
Let me see where it's at now. I don't even want to go beat for beat on Raw. I just kind of want to hit the main points at this point, to be honest.
Yeah.
I liked I'm glad we took tangents on.
Hey, she deserves the praise. Give her flowers.
Jesus Christ, 906 likes.
That's awesome. Yeah, she's the best.
I figured she would see it, especially people started like for those that don't know, we put a TikTok out.
Stache Club Wrestling on TikTok.
Praising Samantha Irvin with like the Chelsea Green stuff and whatever.
Chelsea Green.
She ended up commenting on it and
very cool.
And that's it. I don't see anywhere.
That's it for Raw.
I was gonna say I don't see anywhere up more to go. for us.
Oh yeah, no, we peaked.
I don't know what happened here.
I think
Kevin
this
Owens
set up
saying-
Dom versus Sami Zayn.
Oh, I just set up things.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Becky and Zoe. Sorry, I'm lost without my notes. I feel like they've had this match 3 times at this point, but
Yeah, it's just a way to set up Becky Trish, I guess.
they can't do Becky Trish every week, so Becky Zoe.
Yeah, I guess.
This feud's fine for me, and I think it was better whatever it was a month ago.
Yeah, it's it's definitely died down.
I'm excited for hasn't diluted my excitement for the SummerSlam match of Becky and Trish. Is that officially announced yet?
I don't know if it's been officially announced, but I'm pretty
it's
sure
be,
it's definitely gonna happen.
SummerSlam 20.
Yeah, and I'd like going into the match, like it was this whole thing like if you want a rematch against me, you have to beat Zoe, and if you don't, you got to get "Thank You Trish" tattooed on your neck or your chest or whatever. And I'm just like, what the fuck are we doing? That's like, kind of stupid.
Yeah, like I get it. It's a cool. It would have been cool if she got tatted, but
it was like step 1, beat Zoe. Step 2, get it down on one knee and say "Thank You Trish." And step 3, you get "Thank You Trish" tattooed on your chest. Like what is this?
Phone call?
No, my alarm is going off.
Wake up,
Mr. West.
trying to look on their Twitter.
But yeah, so Becky Lynch won. It's going to be them two versus, not them two, Becky versus Trish at SummerSlam, it seems like. And yeah, should be.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm sorry. I'm just looking on. I do better when I'm on Twitter and seeing like, oh yeah, this happened. Because I watched it, but Monday was a long ways away. Oh yeah, Cody talked. Wow, a lot happened. Oh yeah, and fucking Liv and Kevin are injured. You see that? Like they're like legit injured.
Yeah. Liv might be out for a little bit. I mean, she was hurt and then came back to win the titles, and then they lost them again. So I don't know if it's the same type of injury or something different, but
and I don't think Raquel is for real injured.
Hello. No, I don't think so, because I think they're gonna have that match at SummerSlam too. It seems like
tough. And then sorry, let me catch up here. That's after that. Trish comes out. Blah blah blah. Cody
talks, setting up.
Yeah,
usual. About,
usual Cody thing.
One mistake you made is that you left me breathing and stuff like that, hyping up his mom, saying like, you know, she's seen all these things and stuff.
He did drop. I actually think it was last week where he dropped the. Hey, you know what they say? Hard times. Where he dropped hard times. I fucking love him. I fucking love him.
I love Cody. I fucking do. The way he starts every promo, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but it's just like, what do you guys want to? It's like, so Orlando or Tampa, wherever they were. What do you want to talk? Buddy, just get right into it. I don't like once in a while if it's a big thing, sure. Every week I could do without it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I might be the only one, but I hate it.
Yeah, I'm definitely not as passionate about it.
It's just annoying.
But other than that, once he gets past that, and then you just have like
he's
great.
Superhero.
He's a superhero.
Yeah. He's my superhero. He's my Superman. But he just needs to cut the shit with that opening line.
I love him. Ciampa and Bronson Reed, and there's a lot happening with like Shinsuke. Is Shinsuke turning heel? The Miz is in this. I like all the people involved in this. I like the Miz. I'm glad the Miz is getting more TV time. Bronson Reed is impressive. Ciampa needs something. He's got something, and I love Shin.
But together,
I just don't. Yeah, I'm not sure what ultimately this is going.
Triple threat match, maybe? I don't fucking know.
Fatal 4-way?
Fatal
the
4-way
Miz in
match?
there?
Yeah, I don't know.
Sorry.
I don't think there's anything else really there. Logan Paul Ricochet. That match is official now at SummerSlam.
Yeah, that was solid. You see that fucking kick Ricochet hit him with?
Logan Paul called him like a virgin or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Show.
Yes.
What the exact line was.
He was coming out and he just did like... Which people were saying this. I didn't think the segment was strong at all. I mean, Ricochet's gotten a lot better on the mic. He definitely has just. It's a babyface promo, whatever.
He's kind of boring on the. He's very just like standard, just very like not boring, but just very like. It doesn't seem like there's a lot of energy. It doesn't seem like it's just very like. Just there. his wrestling skills speak more for him than on the mic.
He did have a little bit more of like a grunt and like than he,
like a dog
than he usually does, but. And Logan comes out. I don't think Logan's was fine. Seemed like he was kind of just going through like this
virgin.
This city sucks. And yeah, he just points someone out in the crowd. He's like, you need to get laid, fucking virgin.
I kind of love that. He comes out dressed like a douchebag, got his backwards hat on, the wife beater I think he was wearing.
It works. It works for him.
It really does.
I think, again, regardless of the promos and the lead up, whatever, the match is gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a really good match.
It's gonna be
a fun match.
Damian Apollo, Lou. I mean, we're getting Drew and Gunther.
Yeah, that match got announced.
Is set. Let's just look at the SummerSlam.
The Sami Zayn Dom happened.
And again,
people
that's kind of
pissed that Dom pinned Sammy because they were like, Sammy's one of the biggest baby faces, but it's like, yeah, and Dom's one of the biggest heels. So it's
I mean, he's also
what, Sami Zayn's gonna become the new NXT North American champion. Like, no, that's not gonna happen.
Yeah, that didn't make. I mean, granted, like, who else is gonna? I get they're still intertwining like Sammy and KO as like the storyline.
If he loses, I can imagine it's just gonna be to another NXT person.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think
it's gonna stay on the main roster.
All right, these are the matches. This is gonna be easier than me trying to scramble for notes on Raw. And we're gonna talk about more of this next week on our predictions.
Yes, we will.
Episode. Cody versus Brock is pretty much basically announced. I think Brock is showing up next week on Raw. Seth Rollins versus Finn, been announced.
Yep.
Asuka, Charlotte, Bianca, Roman, Jey Uso in a tribal combat match. I think it's just going to be, like you said, no disqualification.
Yep.
Ricochet, Logan, Gunther, and Drew. Gunther and Drew, I'm excited for it, too.
That's going to be a good match. Then you'll get the Austin Theory versus whoever wins.
Oh, yeah,
Becky, Trish, Ronda, Shayna, Raquel, Rhea.
Ronda, Shayna isn't even, like, really
They haven't,
announced.
I'm surprised. Ronda, Raquel, probably. And then...
Well, that might be it.
That might, yeah.
They need to do a tag. I mean, the tag... Well, I don't know when the last time
Kevin
the tag team
Owens,
titles
Sami
were...
Zayn,
Kevin's injured.
maybe-
Forgot. Kevin's injured.
Yeah, I don't know what they can do. I was going to say maybe they can have a match with like Imperium or something, whatever, but depends on how he is, I guess. But yeah, it's shaping up to be a good show. So, really good show.
Not too shabby. You know what? To be honest, I think we got Sophie here.
Sophie's in the building.
We touched on a lot of stuff that we weren't planning to with the college stuff and
Theo
the contracts and Theo Von. But also like I am pretty lost without my notes on Raw.
Yeah,
so
I mean,
if we
pretty
missed
standard
anything,
shows.
If we missed anything on Raw, we apologize. But ultimately, it's leading up to the SummerSlam prediction show anyway, so we're going to talk about things way more in depth next week. So I don't really want to go over all the matches now. And then what are we going to talk about next week?
For next week.
So that is our episode. Whew. I'm trying to think of what's the thing if you made it this far. It's gotta be something, and we did talk about a lot.
I'll say we can talk Barbenheimer.
Oh, it's gotta be Post Malone. Be Post Malone related.
Post Malone.
What's the Whitney song? Feeling Whitney.
Feeling Whitney.
Put Feeling Whitney in the chat.
Put Feeling Whitney.
Or the comments.
If you made it this far, put Feeling Whitney in the comments.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't. A lot of you have. Well, if you're listening to the podcast, you probably subscribe. But subscribe, do all that stuff. Follow Dante and I on everywhere. It's on the screen. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I think I'm getting back into my YouTube bag.
Yeah, I saw your tweet. Yeah,
I republished some of the stuff. I don't know. I go back and forth on this is like a whole other topic, but I'm not gonna get that into it. But I go back and forth. I'm like, oh, the Raspy Taylor page needs to be like just music, and it can't be like other sort of videos. But then it's like, well, if I post like a funny reaction video, does that take away from like it being a music page?
Sure.
Should I make a separate YouTube channel for like other videos?
A lot of decisions.
Does no one give a shit? Should it just be all
Does
one
no one
thing?
give a single fuck? Let us know. Yeah.
Before we head out, this is for the people who are still hanging on here. Keep your eye out next Wednesday. We might have a little tune coming out.
I didn't know what you were.
Might have a little.
Might
I don't know.
New tune.
Nothing's announced.
A new summer hit.
Nothing's announced. But I guess I'm kind of announcing it now.
Nothing's announced coming from the guy.
No name yet. I put it on my close friends. That's why.
I think I saw it. Yeah. I like the cover.
Cover's sick, isn't it? Cover's sick, isn't it?
Cool.
Anyway, stay on the lookout. I'll plug it when we fucking record. But
fuck
believe me, at the top of the
should.
episode, I'm plugging it. You know what I mean?
You should.
Anyway, we'll get out of here. We got quizzes to film. Thank you all for watching. Appreciate it. We'll see you all week.
See you episode 38 if we make it. Peace.